Hello, people. We have seen these wonderful fruits in the beginning. What we can do with these fruits? We can eat them immediately, or we can dry them and eat them later on. And that's what I want to present you right now, the solar tunnel dryer, a device in order to dry food, fish, herbs, meat, and whatever. You can dry a lot of things, but mainly for vegetables and fruits, it can be used. You see the basic construction here already in the first image, but let's go first to the background of the solar tunnel dryer or for solar drying. It's an old technology, and we have to think that 50% of the fruits and vegetables and 25% of the harvested food grain rotten in the tropical countries. They spoil, yeah, because when there is harvest, there is too much fruits. And for example, with the mango, at the end of the harvest, there the price is high, but there is no fruit anymore. That's what the solar tunnel dry is. It can be used for to prolong the time for making money for generate income, a device for generating income. On the harvest time, the price is low, so the quantity is high, the price is low, so you cannot generate a lot of profit in this time. Direct in the sun drying has a risk of damaging the complete harvest by rainfall, for example. The people have done it in the past on the roof of the house, but when there is rain or the animals are coming, the birds or any other animals, then the harvest is spoiled. And drying food generates a much better benefit on the market than the unprocessed fruit for hotels, for restaurants. They like it very much. This kind of dryer can be built for about only about $100 if you take local material, maybe a little bit more, and it can be done in just a couple of days. Yeah. By trying, the taste of the fruits are intensified and the nutrients are contained more intensely and they taste more sweet and richer. Wow, they really have a very good taste. The vitamins and minerals remain in the product beside of vitamin C, which is reduced. Dried fruits and vegetables are freely from preservatives, very healthy. Dried food have a very good nutrition quality. So you see there are really a lot of good benefits from dried food. They are really very tasty, nutritious, and the flavor is only minimal affected of drying. Dried foods are high in fiber and carbohydrates and low in fats, making them healthy food choices. Vitamin E is retained during the drying process. The storage place you need for it is minimal. It's very easy to store. Transportation costs are very reduced because the size is very low. Dried products weigh only about one-sixth of the fresh food product. One-sixth. That's quite very few. The energy input is less because can take it from the sun if you compare it with, let's say, preservation by a deep freezer or something else. Very easy to prepare, so the food drying is a very simple skill. Long storage of dried food outside the fridge for about 1 year. You can keep the dried food healthy and tasty. It's absolute safe technology, no high voltage use, no risk of temperature, no harm can be generated by the dryer. The food is safe, although it could be contaminated before drying. Because of the pasteurization effects and due to high temperature in the dryer, it's a very safe food. On the left side, you see the traditional drying on the street or and the quality you see below is not very high. With the solar tunnel drying on the right side, you see it's much better quality and it's dried from both sides, from up and from low. Yeah. And the time for drying is also reduced drastically. The red line is the traditional drying on the roof, on the street, and wherever, it's about 5 to 6 days. And the solar tunnel dry, you can reduce it down to 2.5 days, 2.5 day, and it's finished. You can make the next batch, and that makes it a very interesting device for income generation. Benefits of solar drying can open new markets and income, and is a good startup technology. It improved the bargain position of farmers. Sometimes farmers sell at very low prices during the harvest season. You can have up to 50% more productivity in agriculture. For diabetics, dried food prepared without adding sugar is a healthy choice instead of desserts. Dried food can be used in stews, soups, casseroles, and enjoyed as snacks. It can also be added for cereals on breakfast or making ice creams or baked products. Children like dried food very much because of the sweetness. And if they go to school, giving some drying food is better to give some chocolate or something like else, which is not healthy. Compared with open drying, you protect the product from insects, from birds, from dogs, especially for drying meats and fish. The product is hygienic because microorganisms, insects, and flies are killed. It's protected from rain and from pollution like dust in the air. It's protected from wind, which could blow away, let's say, a vegetable, for example. The drying time is reduced, as we have seen already, and is no need to turn the product because air passes both sides of the product. No loss of colors of the product. It looks still beautiful and nice. Drying is faster because inside the dryer it is warmer than outside, about 72 degrees, 75 degrees. Less risk of spoilage because of the speed of drying. If the drying process is slow, the fruit starts to ferment and the product is spoiled. It is labor saving. The product can be left in the dryer overnight or during rain. The quality of the product is better in terms of nutrients, hygiene, and color. But is a little bit more expensive than the direct sun drying because you need to build this device. Let's say not $70, maybe $100, maybe $120. About this costs for the drying. It depends how luxurious you make it. If you have few quantities to dry, you need bigger dryers, which you can see later on. It can be used for fruits like apples, apricots, grapes, pineapples, and banana. Great taste. Melons, plums, beets, mangoes, dates, and figs. Also vegetable like cabbage, broccoli, peppers, herbs, onions, squash, tomatoes, asparagus, celery, potatoes, peas, carrots, peppers, yams, and red cedar. It can be used for corn, maize, rice, cassava, and cocoa. For fish and meat, mushrooms, maybe it can be cultivated in the dry as well with a plastic foil on the bottom. Spices like dried chili, peppers, garlic, medical plants, tea, coffee, cacao, tobacco, cashew, macadamia, milk, hay, copra, the kernel of the coconut. For all this, it can be used. It applies apples, apricots, coconuts. We have this already. So you see, there are really a lot of applications for this dryer. Yeah, maybe you have some more ideas, clothes. You try, you can also try clothes, but it's especially interesting also for fish and meat, which is spoiling in the tropical very fast. Dried fish you can bring on huge distance and sell it on different markets where they have no fish. First, you select the good product, which is also looks fine, and then you clean it. You do a preparation like peeling and slicing. A pre-treatment can be done sometimes, like blanching, anti-discoloration, and so on, dewaxing, but briefly boiling. And then you do the drying process. Then you cool it down, wait until the temperature is down, and then you do the packaging with plastic bags or glass container or whatever you do have. And the storage is dark, cold, and dry, the storage place. On the left side, you see a professional solar dryer in Thailand, which is for huge quantities. And in the middle, there are a lot of solar tunnel dryers, which are used to produce huge quantities. You see, half of this one is black, and the other one is with the product. So you need some space for to heat up the ambient air, yeah, which is for the solar heating up, and then the rest can be used for the dryer. On the right side, you see it on very long, maybe 50-meter long dryers in Indonesia for generating good money. Here you see the end product of the drying, dried apples, spices on top, mixed dried fruit left on the left side here. So it's really very tasty. I love it very much. And in the Western supermarkets, more and more, you see these dried products, which are very healthy and they generate really a good price. Yes, here are some more samples. How it looks, I think really tasty, and they are really good for your health. And you can make bread, for example. You can process it even more with making breads or muesli in the morning, or let's say a fruit bar. In South Africa, they make a fruit bar with dried food inside. Very good. If you have some fantasy, you will find your according product. Here is the online information, alternative technology, solar dryer. There is a lot of information how to build up the dryer, frequently asked questions, all the plans, everything you can find in there in many languages, Arabic, Farsi, Turk, German, English, Spanish, and so on. Here you see a product in Georgia. They make it in Georgia. This is a very luxurious version from the plant. They make it from these plants. You see on the left side, you see this place for the products. On the right side, it's a black color for dull black would be better. This is reflecting black. Dull black would be the better color. And you have two fans here on the top side for to bring the air in the solar tunnel dryer for drying the food. On top of it, okay, here in the backside, they have some insulation material below here to have a better insulation. It's not really necessary, but they made it. Then they make this, I think four legs is enough, but here they make 6 legs. It's up to you. I think this is really a luxurious version. We always made it with 4 legs, and it's enough. And the solar panel, you need a small solar panel for, and you don't need it. You can also go by 12 volt from the power supply, but this regulates the speed for drying. This is quite good to have. If it's more sun, then it's more, the fan is going faster and reverse. So a small solar panel with 10, 12 watt will fit for your solar tunnel dryer. This is a family size. I think it's good for a family. No, some families, if you want to go professional, you build several of this one or the bigger one with 50-meter with the same design. You have the same design. So for testing in the beginning, you can start with this one. And then if you have a good, you're satisfied and you're happy, then you can build the bigger ones. By the way, I have a somehow like a foundation for it. So I'm sponsoring the first solar dryer if you do it, and that you can help other people later on to make this solar dryer as well, because I like it very much, the solar dryer, because it's income generation. Yeah, all what you're doing is buying solar panels, buying solar thermal system, you have to buy, and here you generate income, and I think that's very interesting that you make your money and you deliver quality products, very quality products. Here is the address alternativetechnology.de with much more information about the drying, and there are links to other sites. And contact me if you want to have more information. Thank you very much for your patience. Bye bye.